This is Johan from Amaranthe, and this is my good friend and vocalist Jake.
I heard that you had a funny story from Japan.
Yes, the thing is that I've been told this story because I do not remember too much of it myself. We played the big ass festival called Loud Park in Tokyo at Saitama Super Arena. I think the year was 2011. That was the biggest show we ever done. I can't really remember how much people it was. And we were so skyrocketing after a show of adrenaline and the sheer rush of it. We started to drink and I had a couple of beers and eventually I of course got shit-faced.
This was around 5 p.m.
I don't think that it was even that late.
No.
During the midday. And I was just walking about backstage and I was meeting all these kind of people. We met Darkness was playing, super nice guys. But never mind, I was coming around a corner and there was a guy standing and filming a roadie having a big beard, and I just walked up to him and said that you can't film a big guy with a beard from a frog perspective. His head is gonna look, beard's gonna look like this big on him. And when I saw who the guy was that was filming, it was actually Fred Durst from Limp Bizkit. So he started to film me and asking me all kinds of stupid questions, and he asked if he could use this in their tour diary. And I said, yes, of course, but it's gonna cost you one beer. And he said, yeah, of course, you're gonna get a beer. So we started talking back and forth and being all nasty to each other in a good kind of way. And then he said something on my expense, and I just laughed and said, well, now it's 2 beers. And he's like, yeah, okay, it's cool. Then he said something, I can't really remember what it was, but it completely trigged me. So I just told him like, oh, it's 3 beers now, bitch. He didn't like me calling him a bitch, so he walked up to me like this and asked, who are you calling a bitch? And me being fucked up beyond, I didn't really realize that he's actually a bad boy. So I just stood my grounds and said, I'm calling you a bitch, and now it's 4 beers.
This was Fred Durst.
And then I said, fuck it, I'm gonna take a piss. Went around the corner, went to the toilet, came back. Fred Durst was gone. And the other guys told me like, their tour manager came out with a bag of 4 beers and asked where the beer boy was. Me was being the beer boy. And the other guys in the band, they said, oh, he just went for a piss, but we could take his beer. And the tour manager said, no, this has to be left personally to the beer boy. And I found out like, shit, I have 4 beers waiting for me. So I just started kicking in doors and said Limp Bizkit. First room were their roadies, sitting and playing TV games, and I was like, yes, Fred here. No, they just looked like me like I was a fucking UFO. And of course I was. Kicked in the second door and there was Wes Borland doing his makeup. So I ended up chatting with Wes Borland and he gave me a beer when I told him the story that Fred was owing me 4 beers. And then Fred Durst came into the room and he was not too happy about seeing me there. So Wes just said, no, it's cool, he's my friend. And just when Fred Durst was about to leave the room, Wes shouted at him, hey, Fred. Yeah? And he pointed at my beer, telling Fred, you owe me 1 beer now, bitch. That's the story. Then my mind is blank after that. And also I have a grappling game with K1 fighter Musashi on the VIP floor in the bar. That was after the Fred Durst incident.
That was our tour story, and see you in hell.
And so if you see Fred, tell him that I want my 4 beers.
Yeah, you owe us 4 beers, now, bitch.
He owes me 4 beers. And if I get those beers, I'm not going to call you bitch anymore.